Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is set for one fall with TV time remaining. Introducing first the challenger, ladies and gentlemen, accompanied to the ring by his brother Rick from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 248 pounds, one half of the United States Tag Team Champions, Scott Steiner.
What a matchup you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Steiner, the two-time All-American from the University of Michigan, will take on a man that many consider to be one of the greatest world champions of all time. 7 times he has worn the gold.
Oh boy, this is going to be a good one here. I'm telling you, this kid looks great. Scott Steiner, right now tonight, is a chance for him, baby. Oh yeah, look at him. Make your ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 239 pounds, and for the 7th time, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, Nature Boy, Ric Flair!
Ric Flair, the WCW World's Heavyweight Champion, in this one fall or television time remaining event.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we begin this match, we have a very important and special guest here. I would like to introduce you to representative from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Mr. Hiro Matsuda.
And of course, the winner of this match will take on Tatsumi Fujinami in March in the Egg Dome in Tokyo. Mr. Matsuda obviously very interested in the outcome of this match, Ring.
Well, Jimbo, anytime you have a match of this magnitude, it takes on an international flavor. Japan has some great wrestlers, some great athletes, and I know for a fact that Mr. Matsuda, representing his company, is here tonight to see this tremendous event, because one of these men will go there.
And ladies and gentlemen, also in attendance, he is the largest athlete in the world. 7 feet, 7 inches, 450 pounds of El Gigante.
7 feet 7, 450 pounds. Size 22 shoe. Get a pair of Tony Lamas on that man. You have to kill a whole herd.
I'll tell you what, I know one thing about Ric Flair or Scott Steiner, the size-wise, I don't know how they're going to match up if they ever meet this man.
High five. Have to come down to, he's a good guy. What a really a nice person.
Well, look at the side of this guy. Awesome, awesome.
Extending his hand in good sportsmanship to Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Oh, be careful, Nate. Don't let this come back to haunt you, baby.
Flair is turning rudely and walking away. El Gigante.
Right there.
How about he signed 1,000 autographs tonight? The kids love this big guy. 7'7", 450 pounds. And there's what they will be fighting for. The WCW Heavyweight Championship of the World. On January the 11th, in the Meadowlands, Nature Boy Ric Flair won the title for the 7th time in controversial fashion, we should add, against the Stinger. This one fall, our TV time remaining.
One thing that Scott Steiner has to realize tonight, that he is in there with probably the greatest world champion of all time. I've been in there with him. I know what it feels like to where to go. I know what it feels like to go for it. Scott Steiner tonight has a great chance to take a great step, and Scott Steiner is gonna, I know, will give him all he is, because right here, he will not be intimidated, baby.
My broadcast partner, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, has carried that gold on 3 different occasions. So he knows what it's like to defend and also obviously to chase the world's champion. Good football block there by Scott Steiner. He is powerful. He is quick. It's going to take all of Flair's resourcefulness, all of the tricks, all of his technique to fend off this challenge of this awesome youngster.
Ric Flair knows all the tricks, knows all the technique. He can either teach this guy a lesson tonight, or this man right here can become World's Heavyweight Champion right on this program. Going throughout the world, this thing is on fire. The Nature Boy Ric Flair, Scott Steiner right now feeling each other out.
Steiner with the advantage. The former Big Ten wrestling champion at 2 different weights. There you saw a great amateur move, the fireman carry.
You know one thing about the great athletes of today, Scott Steiner truly is remarkable, because the kids have to understand out there, Scott Steiner got his degree, Scott Steiner went to college, Scott Steiner graduated, and that's so important today, because look at him now. He's going for the most prestigious title in the world. He's wrestling for the World Heavyweight title right here on TBS tonight. Clash of the Champions.
Steiner going for a single leg pickup at Flair, staying very close to the ropes. He knows that senior referee Nick Patrick will step in there when they go to the ropes and break the maneuver.
I think it's really important in a match like this that you have the best referee, and Nick Patrick is the best referee. He is a senior referee. He's been in many title matches, and this thing is going to get hot and heavy before it's over, and we're going to need Nick Patrick for the right decision.
Flair, overhand wrist lock, trying to take Steiner down. There's that great leverage that Flair possesses, but look at this kid. Tremendous strength. Flair will not be able to hold him in this position. Powerful Scott Steiner's got him up and takes him down.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Scott Steiner has got tremendous strength. His brother they've worked out, they've trained, they're ready for this. This is the night of his life. Right here you see, oh yeah, there's old Rick right there. And Mr. Flair don't want to get into a jawing conversation with him when he's got this kid in there ready to take the goal at any second.
Of course, no matter the outcome of this match here tonight on TBS, these men will meet again, exclusively on pay-per-view in the giant steel cage surrounding 2 rings at the 3rd annual Wrestle War pay-per-view spectacular. We certainly encourage you fans to call your local cable company and order that event early. It comes your way on Sunday, February 24th.
Well, I know, and speaking in that respect about the situation, Scott Steiner would feel a lot better walking in as World's Heavyweight Champion in the Phoenix on the 24th of February.
Flair with the Irish whip. No, it's reversed by Scott Steiner. And Steiner elevates the champion. First big impact move by Scott Steiner tonight. Catching Flair. Sends him for the ride. Catches him up. Side slam. He's got the leg grapevine. And Flair able to kick out. But Scott Steiner got the first 2 count of the match. The first near fall for the challenger.
And that's so important. That will only build his, it's like a great ball game. It's a great event, a great boxing match. When you get the first blows in, when you complete the first pass, when you make the first move, when you get a 2 count on 7 times World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, it only bolsters that energy inside of you, brings that stuff to the top, drive that emotion, and sometimes a man can win on emotion alone, baby.
Do you think that Flair's going to use the ropes and use everything he can as far as getting out of the ring, breaking the momentum to keep this kid a little off balance, Dream?
I know that Ric Flair will use anything to get away, and he knows he's a cagey champion. He knows when to rest, you know what I mean, Jimbo? He knows when to back out. He knows when to get his thoughts together. Most of all, he plays mind games, and psychologically, he can take it to him.
Flair downstairs with that forearm down to the ribs. Got Steiner in the corner. Big chop there. Wow! Man, that one echoed throughout the Georgia Mountain Center. Tremendous chop by Flair on Scott Steiner. There's a side headlock now by Flair. Steiner sends him across. And Flair puts Steiner down with a football block. Flair now to the other side. And Scott Steiner caught him coming off with a hip lock. Arm drag takeover. Steiner grabbing that arm.
And you see right there, that's not that conventional arm drag. Scott Steiner relating back just a little bit to his amateur background. He needs to wear Ric Flair down. It's very, very simple. To be World Heavyweight Champion, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
I will have an exclusive interview with the winner of this match this Saturday night on World Championship Wrestling at 6:05 Eastern Time, right here on TBS. Scott Steiner, great sportsman, good clean break. Of course, he and his brother, one half of the United States Tag Team Champions.
Well, being a great sportsman is one thing, but winning the World Heavyweight title is another. And he definitely has to be thinking about what his next move is. He's got to be ready, because I guarantee you one thing, the Nature Boy Ric Flair is thinking about what's going on in this ring right here tonight.
You know, we saw Bill Apter earlier with the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Award for the Wrestler of the Year Sting. The Steiners also won that award in the tag team category.
Well, they're without a doubt tremendous tag team champions, and I know they're looking at a shot at that World's Tag Team title too. And right now, the main thing on Scott Steiner's mind is not the Tag Team Championships of the world. It is being World's Heavyweight Champion.
It's almost as if Flair was playing a game of mental chess with Scott Steiner, because Steiner very aggressive. He's very anxious to get this match going and to get a rhythm, to get a flow. But every time he starts, Dream, it seems like that Flair, you know, hits out of bounds.
Well, the thing about Scott Steiner, doesn't need to get too down about what Ric Flair's doing. He needs to stay to his game plan. He needs to do what brought him to the dance. And what brought him to the dance is training, being ready for this. He wouldn't be in there tonight if he wasn't ready to be World Heavyweight Champion.
Tremendous strength exhibited by Scott Steiner, and Flair stomps away at the knee of Scott Steiner. We may see the strategy early unfolding here, as we know Flair is the master of the figure four. Irish whip, over the Steiner line, caught the champion. Then he caught him flush right in the throat area, and Flair in a lot of trouble again near the ropes and again crawling outside.
Right here, Ric Flair was definitely hurt by that blow, and it was a tremendous blow. Scott Steiner now, right here. See, one thing about Scott Steiner here, this is only being just a little bit younger in the business and not having the knowledge that Ric Flair does. Ric Flair's over there trying to get control of himself. Scott Steiner needs to be a little more offensively. Go out there. I would go out and get him. Bring him in.
Of course, that comes with experience, and Steiner now got him up, vertical suplex, brings Flair back in. Steiner on top, he's going for the pin. That's an amateur instinct. Go for the pin when the man's on his back.
Well, one thing about his amateur instinct right there that he forgot is he did not hook that leg, and we're going to say that many, many times on programs throughout this great wrestling world, is you have to hook that leg, hook that man, cinch up on him, and take him home.
Scott Steiner, that superior strength on Nature Boy Ric Flair. Steiner only in the sport about 3 years. Flair, on the other hand, was Rookie of the Year in '75. And Steiner, disregarding the vaunted reputation of Flair, nails in the right hands, inverted atomic drop. A momentum breaker.
Yeah, momentum is the name of the game. Scott Steiner had some momentum going into this thing. Ric Flair slowly and methodically, I believe that's the word, is methodically starting to now to make his move at Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner's got to be Ric Flair. Ric Flair don't have to be Scott Steiner.
Another inverted atomic drop by Nature Boy Ric Flair. And now Flair, who has played basically a cat and mouse game thus far with Scott Steiner, but he is a consummate tactician. And now, as he says, you know, it may be time to go to school, as he tosses Scott Steiner out, and he landed right on his feet. His brother Rick says, get back in the ring. Sunset flip. Flair tried to grab for the ropes. Instead, he grabbed a handful of hair and nailed Steiner with the right hand.
Well, Ric Flair's been in that position many times, and he knows. Right now, he's intimidating the Steiner. He's intimidating Rick Steiner. He's intimidating Scott Steiner. He feels good about himself right time. Anytime Ric Flair gets in a position like he's in right now to feel good about himself, he's hard to beat, Jimbo Ross.
Flair, it's reversed, the Irish whip, he's in. But he caught Steiner coming in on the foot right to the face. And now Flair, his feet are in the ropes. We've seen him do this before. And Rick Steiner bringing to the referee's attention that Flair's feet were in the ropes.
Well, right here, too, though, I know that Nick Patrick, the referee that he is, was ready, and he had them eyes on that rope, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back. The World's Heavyweight Championship will continue right after this. Scott Steiner finally back up, fighting with the Nature Boy. Flair sent for the ride. Big football block by the heavyweight champion. Again, Flair for the ride. Good drop toe hold. Flair goes down. Welcome back, fans, to this live broadcast. It's one fall of television time remaining for the world title. And Scott Steiner has turned the table on Flair. He's got the figure four, Dusty Rhodes, on the world's heavyweight champion.
I'll tell you right here, Ric Flair's in a lot of trouble. Scott Steiner has learned his lessons well. He's went to school. He knows what it's all about. He knows what it's take. He has turned the tables on the Nature Boy Ric Flair, applying pressure to Ric Flair with the figure four. And brother, the Nature Boy at this point in time is in trouble. But during the break, Scott Steiner had started to regroup himself just a little bit and started to make a little more moves and bring Flair back into perspective. Is that Scott Steiner is quicker, faster, stronger, and can beat Ric Flair tonight right here.
Flair now pushing Steiner back into the ropes and sends him for the ride, but he missed the elbow. Steiner missed the Steiner line. And Flair got him. Oh, they go! Flair all the has taken both men over the top rope. Remember, this match is one fall or television time remaining for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Well, I'll tell you right there, that was an unbelievable thing that just happened. Ric Flair, Scott Steiner, both going out to the floor. The thing here is both men could be hurt. Not one here has the upper hand. Ric Flair seems to be there, seems to be now ready to fire back at Scott Steiner. We're going to see something right out here now.
Flair now going to work on that leg. He's got it up. Flair dropping Steiner's leg right across his own, as Flair would seemingly be trying to prepare Steiner for the figure four.
Well, I've seen that move. I've had that move put on me many times. That is exactly what Ric Flair is doing. For you people at home, he is starting now to work on that leg, starting to get it ready, starting to get Scott Steiner in a position so he can hook the patented figure four and take this thing home.
Rick Steiner there to encourage his brother, to tell him that there is 10 minutes of television time remaining. You've got to suck it up, Scotty. Get back in the ring. Scott Steiner, you know he's full of fight, but he's in there with a man that is considered the greatest champion of all time. And right there, Flair trying to work on that leg. It's obvious now, the game plan of Nature Boy Ric Flair. Restrict the mobility of Scott Steiner. Don't allow him to use his power moves. Keep him off his feet, and that's what Flair's doing right here.
Well, you know yourself, a man that can't stand up, I mean, can't do a lot. And Scott Steiner now is in a lot of pain because Ric Flair took his time. He dealt the blow that started the situation that we see right now. And that situation is a young kid with a hurt leg fighting for his life to be world's heavyweight champion against probably the greatest champion of all times.
Again, Flair with a vicious kick to the knee. Scott Steiner holding his knee, writhing in pain there on the canvas. Flair again. Boy, this is vintage Nature Boy Ric Flair right here. Got him up on his shoulders. Again, jamming Steiner's leg right across Flair's own.
It's very simple. I mean, as simple as it can be here. Here he goes, stepping in, trying for the figure four on Scott Steiner. There he is. Jimbo, he's got it hooked on him right here.
Flair with a figure four on Scott Steiner. He's also got the ropes. Rick Steiner doesn't want to get his emotions to get carried away. He could get his brother disqualified here.
Right here. Now, Rick needs to keep his head about him just a little bit. And Nick Patrick will take care of business here. Now, he's been in this situation before. Nature Boy, look at Nature Boy saying he didn't pull the rope. I've had the pressure put on me. Scott Steiner's in a lot of pain. Right here, the Nature Boy. Look at Rick. Don't get him disqualified here, Rick. I mean, he's got to, like you say, use his head about the situation.
Cannot lose his composure. Obviously, he wants his little brother to win the heavyweight championship of the world, but he certainly doesn't want to get his little brother disqualified due to outside interference, and that's what could happen. The referee did officiate. He made him break the hold.
Yes,
but how much damage could be done in that length of time? You've had the hold applied to you. How much hurt could Scott Steiner be sustaining right now?
Well, I tell you, I had my leg broke with that hold, and I know for a fact that it goes numb first, and he had it on long enough that there's a certain amount of damage that has happened to Scott Steiner, and he's not through with it, brother. I know Ric Flair. I know the game plan, and he is not through with this thing right here. He hooks it on him again.
He's got it on him again in the middle of the ring this time. He's got it in the middle of the ring, away from the ropes. And that's, Flair can't use the ropes, but neither can Scott Steiner. He's got to gut it out. You know there is one reversal, Dusty. You've mastered that.
Right here, he needs to roll this thing over right here. Scott Steiner's got to really reach back, take him all the way over Scott Steiner, and apply the pressure down the other side. Ric Flair, he's going to get out of this thing. I'm telling you, he's going to get out of this thing.
Flair is not going to submit. It's almost like an Indian deathlock position when it's reversed. And finally, Flair got into the ropes. And now Scott Steiner is up. His leg's got to be numb.
That's the bottom line. His leg is numb. I mean, as numb as it is. But one thing, as he got to his feet right there on guts alone, Ric Flair, the champion that he is, drilled right back in on that part of the body that is injured, breaking the man down. And we talking about his leg.
Let's get him off the rope. Steiner fighting back, trying to go with that front face lock. Now he's got him in a neck breaker position. And he snaps it off on the Nature Boy. Now we know Scott Steiner uses a Frankensteiner. He's got to work on his neck right there.
Yeah, what he needs to do right here is kind of regroup himself a little bit. He might want to grab a hold and try to wear this thing down. He don't want to involve himself in a situation where he hurts that knee again, because Ric Flair will take it to him right here. Ric Flair upside down, out on the floor right here beside us.
Flair right out here beside us. The clock is the enemy of Scott Steiner. We're under 6 minutes of television time remaining as Nature Boy Ric Flair right out here beside us is in a lot of trouble. Now the next 5 minutes is going to tell the tale.
Ready to tell the tale right here. Scott Steiner has regrouped enough. Right here is a great move. That's a great move. This could turn it. I mean, the Nature Boy here is laying at my feet. Scott Steiner right here. He needs to get his wind, needs to get his breath a little bit. He needs to work that leg a little bit, get that numbness out of it. He looks like he's ready for him. He needs to now go for it, because I think there's 5 minutes left in this thing. If he's going to win it, he's going to win it now.
5 minutes of TV time remaining. 5 minutes remain.
Well, Nick Patrick using some pretty good discretion, because he didn't. He let Rick Steiner help Flair back in the ring, and that's all Rick was doing. He wasn't trying to hammer him or anything.
No, I don't. I think right now Rick Steiner's just excited about his little brother being in there. I'm more concerned about Scott Steiner and what he does to Ric Flair right here, because he has the ability right there. I'm gonna tell you, Scott Steiner, don't look at no referee. Don't look at the crowd. If you're gonna hit him, baby.
Flair now again taking over offensively. He spins with the leg. Scott Steiner's got him rolled
could be
back.
it.
He may have him. He may have him. 1, 2, and out. Inches away from a new champion of the world.
I'll tell you, I know what it feels like, and I mean, he was there. But you see him holding that leg, continuously holding that leg, because it is numb as a cucumber right now. I'll tell you, it sure is, Jimbo.
There are 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes.
4 minutes remaining of television time here at the Clash of Champions. It's reversed by Scott Steiner. Sends Flair in. He's got him in a sleeper. He doesn't have it fully executed. He's got that one arm around Dust, but he's not. Flair keeps moving.
Yeah.
He's moving away from the pressure.
Well, that's just experience, because his arms are so big and he's so powerful. He's got to do some damage right here to Ric Flair. He's got to have him in a hurting situation.
Scott Steiner with a front face lock, but again, Flair near the ropes. Good officiating referee Nick Patrick calling for the break. Scott Steiner gives a clean break. There he goes for the Steiner line. He took him over. Judgment called by the referee.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Flair was standing in a situation with his back to the rope. Judgment call is right. The blow, it's just like catching a pass, and the defensive guy shoves you out of bounds, but you still caught the pass because you were in the field of play. That's what happened right there.
3 minutes remaining.
3 minutes remaining. And Flair now will work the clock, one would think. Scott Steiner has got to turn it up a notch. He's got to get on the offensive. He's got 180 seconds to win the world's title here tonight on TBS.
Well, you say Ric Flair might use the clock. I'd said that earlier, but right now I look at Ric Flair, and that's a new Ric Flair. That's the man that he is the world's heavyweight champion once again for the 7th time. And I think he wants to prove tonight on television throughout this country on TBS, the Clash of Champions, that he can beat Scott Steiner. He don't want to go the distance with him. He wants to beat him.
He's going for a pin here, but his feet are on the ropes. Scott Steiner powered out. Rick Steiner, I tell you, his emotions are getting carried away here.
Yeah, but I don't blame him. I'm talking about his little brother.
His brother, right.
You can't handcuff him. See the big giant back there? I know he's watching this thing, and with a great anticipation of who's going to win this thing.
As is Hiro Matsuda.
2 minutes. There are 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining of television time. Flair in control at this juncture. Side headlock. Steiner barely able to get that shoulder up.
I had an old coach from Kentucky one time, an old Kentucky Wildcat, tell me, says, right now, son, it is gut check time, and it's got to be for Scott Steiner.
Steiner tried. Hey, look at that bridge. Can he get him up? He's bridging up. What strength. What a move by Scott Steiner. Now he's got Flair in a suplex position. Takes him down. Shakes the ring. Flair now in trouble. Scott Steiner's got about a minute and a half.
He's got to go get him. He's got to go get him. He's got to go get him. Scott Steiner's got to go get him, Jimbo.
Flair is in so much trouble. Scott Steiner's got to get him back in the ring. Perhaps he should go out and bring him back in. Referee Nick Patrick County.
1 minute. 1 minute remains.
Scott needs to go get him. I'm a little biased here. I'm excited. This kid needs to take it to him.
He's got 60 seconds to win the world title. Flair with a kick. Stops the momentum momentarily. Back Steiner to the ropes. Irish whip to the middle of the ropes. And there's a Steiner line. Oh, Flair turned upside down.
He needs to go for the cover. He needs to get him in a pinning situation.
What a battle here for the World's Heavyweight Championship.
30 seconds remain. 30 seconds.
He's hammering away. He needs to go for a pin here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, boy. The people are standing in this building because Scott Steiner has an opportunity here, and he needs to get a pin. Watch out.
15 seconds.
Oh, he got him right in the gut with a fist. He's got 15 seconds left.
8, 7, 6.
He's got to go for it.
4, 3.
Belly to belly. He may